Good afternoon, teachers. I wanted to do this Screencastify video to show you how to better secure your WebEx sessions and meetings with your students. So when you first log into your WebEx, click over on Home, and this is where it's going to take you. In order for you to do some of these features, you need to ensure that you are in the desktop app and not the web app. Having the web app does not allow you to do some of these features. So just click the down arrow here and make sure that use desktop app is actually checked off. So I'm going to go into one of my meetings to show you what I did. So I'm going to edit. I'm going to edit all of them. Okay. So in the email that came from Abdullah just now, some of the things that he mentioned on there, I'm going to show you. So I have my meetings occurring every school day with no end date. And then I'm going to click over here, show advanced options. Okay. And then I'm going to click on scheduling options. I'm going to require attendees to have an account so that students that are joining in have an account with NPS if they're logging in with their NPS credentials. And then I'm going to go over here to edit attendee privileges. This is where you will allow your students to do things or not do things. So click on here. So I have unchecked everything. The only thing my students will be able to do is to view the participant list. The other thing that I have unchecked is their ability to chat with other participants while I am doing a lesson. So if I am by myself and in presenter mode, it's very hard to see what is going on. So to avoid students chatting with one another while you are in presenter mode, the best thing for you to do is to uncheck that they can chat with one another, and then ensure that you click OK and save so that it saves the settings for all of your meetings. Now I'm going to show you what to do once you start your meeting. So I'm starting my meeting. One of the things that you can do once you start your meeting, so I would recommend you starting your meeting 2 to 3 minutes before the students log on so that you can apply these settings. Unfortunately, we will have to do this with every meeting. It does not save it, right? It just always reverts back to its default. So the first thing you can do is head over to participant, check mute on entry. This will mute students automatically the minute they sign on to your WebEx. The next thing that you should do is click participant and uncheck anyone can share. By unchecking this feature, students will not be able to share their screen at any time. All right, the only person that will be able to share is you, or if you would like another person to share, then you can assign privileges to that person at any time. The other thing that you need to do after you have done that, give the students about 2 to 3 minutes to actually log on to your meeting. The minute that happens, you click over here on meeting and you lock your meeting. So this will prohibit anyone to enter this meeting. So even if someone is trying to hack your WebEx meeting from the outside, they won't be able to do it because the meeting is locked. If students are trying to get on, they will also not be able to get on. The meeting is locked. The only way that someone can come back in, or you can allow someone to come back in, is if you go over to meeting and unlock the meeting. And then at this point, students or an administrator can actually come into your meeting. So again, meeting and lock. And this prohibits anyone from coming in. In participant, you would mute on entry and uncheck anyone can share. So these are some of the things that I would definitely recommend you doing every time you start a meeting. Unfortunately, these settings cannot be saved. So every time you start a meeting, then you would have to do this. There are pros and cons to scheduling a meeting and doing the personal room. When you do the personal room, it doesn't really allow you to stop the chat feature in there. So this is why when you schedule a meeting, you can actually control who chats with one another, as opposed to using your personal room. With your personal room, you can actually admit people in, so it's a little bit different. You don't have to lock it, unlike scheduling, but there's different features in the personal room that the scheduling doesn't have, and then there's features in the scheduled meeting that the personal room does not have. But once that is done, then your meeting is more secure from anyone trying to log in or any outside person coming. So other than that, you just need to ensure that you do this every time you start a meeting. I hope this was helpful in helping you secure your meetings.